4:38 this morning, and the streets of Eugene are deserted, except for the hardy and the dedicated. They're number one and counting. These UCLA Bruins ended last year very well, and they might be better this year. But this is an unkind place where the hometown Ducks got their wings clipped on Thursday night. UCLA is a hungry team. Can Oregon be hungrier? Bruins and the Ducks. Next. We come to you today from Eugene, Oregon. We're on the campus of the University of Oregon and one of the great spots for college basketball. We are at Mac Court. Been around for many, many years. Great place, but not if you're a visiting team like the #1 ranked UCLA Bruins, who make a house call today on the hometown Oregon Ducks. And hello again, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins. You know my partner, the coach, Dan Belwamity. And yes, it has happened once before. 1974, 32 long years ago, Bruins came to this building, #1 in the country, and guess what? Oregon beat them and beat them up. Can it happen again, Dan?
Well, it can happen again, and certainly an unbelievable venue here this afternoon. And I think Oregon very stinging a little bit from the loss to USC, capable of winning. But Ben Howland's team, UCLA, a terrific defensive team. They can play slow, they can play fast. #1 in the country, waiting for this one.
Our time was when you were going to be a good college basketball team, you better have a good center. Nowadays, you better have a good point guard, and both these teams do.
Two terrific point guards, and you look at Darren Collison, and Collison, a guy that can break it down, make the long-range shot, leading this UCLA team, making great decisions. How about Aaron Brooks, 31 in the loss to USC, capable of going outside, inside, he can run the floor. Barry, we got some athletes in this game.
No question about it. You know, they run track and field just down the road at a great site, too. Home of the Olympic trials, Hayward Field. I don't know if we're going to see any field here in this building today, but we're going to see a lot of track. This one, we may do away with the jump ball to start the game. May just get into the starting blocks. We'll come back after this. And we welcome you back to Mac Court. We are just about set to tip it off. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for these two teams, and these are two outstanding teams. Oregon undefeated until Thursday night. Here's where UCLA comes to the dance. Aaron Aflalo has been sensational. We talked about Collison. Ship can score. Mott, a great overachiever. Ben Howland, I think one of the great coaches in America. For the Oregon Ducks, they'll start with Aaron Brooks and Marty Lunan, averaging a double-double. Champaguchi, who can light it up in a hurry with Adams on, and an improved Bryce Taylor. And there's the coach, Ernie Kent. Ernie likes this team, and I think it's a team that's only going to get better.
Think they're ready here in Eugene for this one?
I'm telling you, and that's the X factor right there.
No question, the X factor.
I mean, this place is literally shaking right now. The students jumping up and down.
But Barry, they're playing against a team that did play for the national championship last year, and not awed by playing on the road.
No, I don't think they'll be awed. This is Aaron Aflalo. Give it up nicely to Mata coming to the basket.
That's what you call a crowd quieter to start the game in a backdoor violation.
Yep.
So UCLA starting exactly the way Ben Howland wanted. Terrific pass on the interior, and then you get a turnover.
I mean, one of the things I like about Ben, and I mentioned one of the great coaches in America, and his record will substantiate that. You don't play defense, you don't play. And Bahamute to Ship. That's too easy.
That is, well, the first two scores have been way too easy if you're an Oregon fan. Of course, UCLA high to low again. Man-to-man by the Bruins.
Here's Brooks penetrate. Off the window.
All right, let's see if Oregon stays man-to-man or if they switch it up and go to their matchup. It looks like defensively now they're going to make it. I mean, the first two times down the floor, two layups. Matchup zone.
This is Ship, good perimeter shooter. Now Collison lightning quick at the point. Ship at the elbow. 10 on the shot clock. Flala with 5 on the shot clock. Offense.
Pretty good defensive play, stepping away, trying to put it on the official to make the call. Flala with his first. And UCLA back man-to-man.
Incidentally, Oregon started with Tawan Porter, freshman Marty Lunin for 3.
You know, that's a tough cover because Oregon's playing 2 point guards. They're going small, and you have to adjust to that. Back to the zone again. One of those games where nobody's missing any shots.
No, you're right. Collison all the way. Comes up a little bit short. And the follow is up and good by Mbamute. Yeah, you're right. Oregon playing a smaller, quicker lineup, and now Ernie Kent will go to his bench.
Yeah, Barry, last time down, here's the great penetration by Brooks. And, of course, Marty Lunin has had an unbelievable year, averaging a double-double, playing at that number 5 spot, can draw the big guy away from the goal, and we know he can knock it down from deep. Little 2-man game at the top here.
And it's going to be out of bounds to UCLA. Porter was waiting for a call, and he never got it. So was Ernie Kent. This is a Flalo.
Well, the matchup, Barry, has been a little bit better than the first 2 times down where Oregon went man-to-man. UCLA got a couple of layups. Well, that's another layup.
The miss and a follow, though, by Ship.
After I just said, Ship just broke him down and dropped it.
UCLA by 3. We're just getting started here. 2 turnovers are ready for Oregon. They didn't have any in the first half Thursday night against USC.
Well, lost that USC game there. I think had 4 for the game. Only 4 turnovers, and the Trojans came in, really did a masterful job in winning that game on the road.
Well, you know, we talk about improved players. How about Marty Lunin?
Well, Lunin is in a spot now where, you know, here's a young man that we knew he was very talented coming into Oregon, but now they're featuring him. They're playing him at the 5. He can step away, make shots. You know, he's averaging a double-double. You know, he and John Brockman at Washington, the only 2 players in the league that are averaging a double-double. So, you know, Lunin doing a beautiful job.
State Player of the Year a couple of times here in Oregon, but has been largely under the radar in his first couple of seasons, has really emerged this year. That's a both a 1-point game. Boy, you just got to love this matchup at point guard. I know we talked about it at the beginning, but Brooks and Collison, outstanding.
And don't forget Tawan Porter. I mean, we know Porter put up, you know, he put 38 in the game already this year. He's a guy that can make shots if he can get out in the open court. He will get his goals if he gets some touches.
Here's Mbamute. Nice dish to Mata, but he couldn't handle it. 3-on-2 if they push it here. Brooks, little reverse, and a kick out. Now Lunin had a thought about it, passed it up. Here's Taylor. Taylor to the basket.
Barry, the most improved player in the Pac-10 this year, Bryce Taylor. I mean, he has rededicated his game, and he is playing unbelievable basketball for the Ducks.
They leave a Flala for 3, misses off the back iron, and it's run down by Taylor. So Oregon now with the lead and with the ball. Taylor, penetration, turnaround, wouldn't go, but he draws a foul.
And why is he so improved? He worked with his dad in the offseason, Brian Taylor, who we know played for the New Jersey Nets. He is now going to the basket. He's not just relying on his perimeter game. He went home in the summer, rededicated himself, and his whole game has just gone up a notch, and he's been an integral part of this great run by Oregon.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, this guy was purely a perimeter guy in the first couple of years, and as you said, he's just changed his game completely.
And very quite frankly, you know, even to his standards, he felt disappointed. He had not lived up to expectation. Well, forget all that. He's going in the right direction now.
Well, the whole team's going in the right direction. Aaron Aflalo, a little mismatch right here with Porter. Ship drives baseline, drew a crowd, and it's controlled finally by Aboya, who is on for UCLA, and picked clean by Brooks. Porter going to back it out. Porter doesn't play like a freshman.
You don't have to worry about many turnovers. No, Porter does not play like a freshman. Great guard play. How about this? Let's just bring it in, and how about a little finger roll all the way to the goal? How do you like it, Art?
Oregon playing great. Taylor leading the charge here. 15-17 remaining here in the first half, and Oregon has jumped out to a 4-point lead after trailing early and playing great.
Well, they're playing beautiful basketball without the ball. And the two guards, you look at Brooks and Porter, they don't turn the ball over, and a nice job of Taylor playing without it and driving all the way down and just finger rolling that one. So good start here for Oregon. They've made a couple of turnovers. UCLA, timeout, they're trying to make a few adjustments.
Oregon perfect from the field, 4 of 4 so far. We've seen some very good shooting this conference.
Thursday night with Arizona and Washington, there was a stretch there where I think there was about 8 or 9 field goals made in a row by both teams. So, there's some pretty good players in this league.
Oh, yeah. I don't think there's any question about the fact that this is top to bottom the toughest conference in America this year. We were talking to Ben Howland yesterday about he sees 6 teams, and he said, you might be able to make a case for 7 teams.
Well, Devon Harden going down to California, I thought really hurt him. I thought they had a real shot, and then they go win 2 games on the road.
That's right. Collison thought about it. Nice drop down for Mbamute for the finish.
Mbamute quietly gets his 15, 17, 8, 9 rebounds, never makes a mistake. Good job of not traveling with the ball in there. And an excellent timeout that time by Ben Holland.
There's Brooks. Now Lunan pops off the screen. Brooks down the lane. Count it. Collison will back it out. You said this earlier. UCLA can play a little bit slower. We'll skip past now for Ship.
Mary, I just think they're comfortable in both areas. They can play slower. They do a nice job of running the floor in the open court. Now, that's a tough shot. Good defense that time by the Ducks.
At a second chance, Collison goes high to maintain possession. There's Collison knocked away from behind by Porter, but they'll whistle Porter for the foul.
I think the fans need a break.
Well, I'm telling you, it's been an intense start to this game. 13:51 left first half. Oregon leads it by 4, 14-10. We'll be back. We welcome you back. We talked about 1974. Well, it was a UCLA team led by the redheaded guy right there. Bill Walton, pretty good player, wasn't he?
Fairly good player. And of course, this was the weekend where UCLA came up to Oregon. Oregon State lost both games, as a matter of fact.
Lost at Oregon State on Thursday night, 61-57, then came down here, lost 56-51, and they were starting to write John Wooden's team off, saying they won't get back. Of course, they did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did make a little comeback, but they still talk about that weekend for UCLA up here the last time really a number 1 under that team came in. And
you just got to love this place, though. This place has been around for just about 70 years now, and it reminds me of the old Boston Garden, actually. A little bit more intimate than that, and it gets cooking in here, and there's no question about it. This building is a factor.
No question. Remember that 74 team, too. Greg Lee, remember Greg, and Greg Ballard, who was an outstanding. Stu Jackson played on that
not
team.
Bad.
Willett, I think, was the center, and the fellow that really went crazy in that game was Bruce Caldron.
Bruce Caldron.
Remember, he made 8 of 9 field goals and did an outstanding job with Greg Lee and of course, Bill Walton team. And Ernie did play on that team.
Yes,
He's a freshman, and he played 10 seconds.
And you know what? There was another freshman in that game, too, who you might know.
Marcus Johnson.
Marcus Johnson, our colleague.
Pretty good guy to bring off the bench.
So a 3-point Oregon lead now. Ducks with the basketball. Here's Brooks. Rolling ball game now for UCLA. Tough cover for him. Drop it down nicely and Taylor to the basket. It's been pretty high caliber stuff.
High cal. Is it me, Barry, or have we seen some unbelievable passing teams? You know, we talked about Arizona, the way they pass the ball, but boy, in this one here, you've got two teams, again, very unselfish. Both clubs are doing a nice job looking for each other when they come down the floor in a half court.
There's Mbamute working on Lunan. Too easy, but it wouldn't go. Lunan with a rebound. Oregon still hadn't missed a shot. They're 6 of 6. And they started Thursday night, oh, by the way, 1 of 11. There's Brooks, and foul before the shot. They'll get Carlson on the foul. Oregon right now on an 11-3 run. They lead it by 5. Ship will leave. Mata will come back for UCLA, and Mbamute also leaves.
Well, you could see the mindset of Oregon. I mean, Aaron Brooks looking to really take the game over. I mean, he is using his dribble, drive, penetration whenever he can. This little guy right here, Porter, hasn't got going. They're playing him tight. They respect Porter. He can make the long-range jumper.
UCLA has not scored now in 2 minutes. A little jump out on Aboya there.
Yeah, I think a big factor in this game is the ability of Oregon to get to the foul line. See, if they can get to that foul line early in the half, it will pay big dividends. That's already the 5th team foul on UCLA, and Oregon only has 1.
Well, Porter will take a seat now. Champ Oguchi will come back. Oguchi, we've talked about this on numerous occasions, the definitive streak shooter. He gets it going and forget it.
And it looks like no Malik Harrison in this game, Barry. I mean, Malik, you know, poor guy, he's injured earlier in the year and then now has another injury, and a good move all the way to the basket by Brooks.
Well, you talked about it.
An integral part of this team. They need him. Coming off played 5 games.
Coming off a 31-point game against USC and not missing a beat, picking up right where he left off. 7-point Oregon lead and a long dry spell for UCLA. My advice, though, to the Ducks is stay on the gas.
I think Roll here, don't forget, Roll's a very good perimeter guy, and they're trying to break him down and go into the goal, but Roll has come up big for UCLA in recent games, and he's got to get proactive and look for that 3.
Going to get a reach-in foul on Zahn here. That will put Aboya at the free throw line. These two teams really match up interestingly. I mean, they're very much alike.
Well, Barry, they've only lost 1 game.
That's true. They're alike in that regard.
You know, they're alike there, no doubt about it. Well, you talked about undefeated teams in the country. I mean, you're looking at one of them here this afternoon. Of course, the other one, you know, Clemson. They've got a great job and a big start for them.
UCLA has played most of its games at home. This is its first real road test of the year. They went to Corvallis on Thursday night and won rather handily.
They did go to Maui, though, and is that like a road swing?
Yeah, I would say it's a road swing.
Yeah, Collison was the MVP of the Maui Classic. I call that kind of a semi-road. That's kind of a pleasurable road swing.
Yeah. James Keefe in the ball game now. There's Brooks, draws a foul.
Now well, they're just clearing the side for Aaron Brooks. I mean, I think Ernie Kent just sees that Brooks is in a super rhythm, and why not let him go? You know, he's got a 31 in the loss to USC on Thursday. He's gotten off to a real hot start. You know, we talked about Clemson and their great start. Oliver Purnell has done a super job. Remember, he was at Dayton before he went to Clemson, his 4th year at Clemson. They've got a center by the name of James Mays. Mays was academically ineligible after 11 games. They were 11-0 when that happened. So while he is playing, they're like 25 or 26-0. Then lost the game.
Shot blocker.
With him in the line, shot blocker. But they have great guard play. And Clemson, they're going to go on the road. They'll probably lose some, but what a start.
This is Ship now. Westbrook in the ball game for the first time. Long 3 by Aflawa, misses. Keefe with an offensive rebound. Swatted away from behind by Brooks. There's Taylor. Oguchi took the extra step, I think.
And I thought a very good call. And And we know Gucci, another young guy that was injured earlier in the year, but he's electrifying.
And of course, as you said, Harrison has missed 4 or 5 games with a heel injury. When he comes back, they'll be tough. Well, there's part of the madness that is Matt Court. Guy's got his duck lips on. Perfectly normal appearance.
Oh, yeah. Well, everything's normal here, and of course, it's a pretty tough ticket. They were camping out for 48 hours. How about Aaron Brooks, Barry? He just wanted to take the game over. Look at, he's got that little hook going in the lane and plays great without the ball. 8 early points by Brooks. He's got a couple of steals, a couple of assists. You can't bring the ball down. You know, when Keith brings the ball down, Brooks is right there to grab it. So Aaron will not be there for long, but he's going to take a little bit of a break.
Jovan Catron in the ball game now for Oregon for the first time. He's a guy who plays a lot bigger than his size. Only 6'6", but Ernie Kent keeps talking about how tough he is, what a hard worker he is, and it's resulting in a lot of minutes.
I thought the advantage for UCLA, well, not to mention their terrific team play, but go around the goal, see if you can get some scores inside. They did early against the man-to-man. Oregon went back to that matchup zone. It's been very effective.
So here's Westbrook bringing it across the timeline, another freshman. Now Flalo has been very quiet. Skip pass this time for Westbrook. Penetrate, puts it up and scores. A quick first step.
That's what you call not being too afraid of the situation. Westbrook only a freshman, but you know he did a great job there. He's a good perimeter guy. Showed you he could put it on the ground.
Now Porter goes behind his back, comes behind a screen. And that's going to be out of bounds to UCLA. I think it went off of Porter's hands at the baseline.
Great defensive job by Omar Amute that time to step out. UCLA gives you a little glimpse right there on that set. Why it's difficult to score on them. Everybody retraced their steps down in the passing lane.
Here's Ship. Ship steps in this time, kick out, a Flalo open 3, comes up short. And a rebound down to Oguchi. And a near steal that time by Westbrook. Westbrook showing some quicks here.
Yes, he is. You know, Westbrook not awed by the situation at about 6'3". He can play the point, can play the off guard. And he's getting some valuable time.
Oregon already with 4 turnovers. And that, as you mentioned earlier, that's the total number that they had in the game against USC on Thursday. There's some tenacious defense being played here, though. They're not careless turnovers.
And the other thing is, you know, Flalo has not gotten off to the kind of start he likes, but don't worry about it. He will get his before it's over.
Yes, he will. There's Porter, and Westbrook got a hand on that. And a reach in. They tie it up. It's going to be Oregon ball. There's a lot of quickness on that floor right now.
There's super quickness on the floor, and it shows. I mean, it's just not easy to get the ball in the lane and get a shot off. So the Ducks will have it out of bounds. Be careful if you're UCLA. The guy taking it out many times is the recipient of the shot.
Taylor comes behind a Zahn screen. Forced that shot up, and it won't go. Keefe for the rebound for the Bruins. Here's Westbrook. Now Ship on the wing. Aflalo puts it on the floor, gets into the lane. Kick out Ship, open 3. Yuck.
Well, who's the better long-range shooter, Josh Ship or his brother Joe Ship, who has led California in scoring one year, an unbelievable long-range shooter.
That incidentally missed by Taylor a moment ago was the first Oregon miss in this game, and we're more than past the midway part of the first half.
Well, here's the penetration, and we know Aflalo's very unselfish, but he finds Josh Ship all the way on the corner. Remember, Josh, you know, he could not play last year on UCLA's great run playing in that national championship game, but he was hurt the whole year. But he's come back to have a nice year this year for UCLA.
Well, you can see the writing on the wall last year. He played 4 games, and he scored in double figures in all 4 of those games.
Had that hip injury a year ago, and he's playing very well this year for the Bruins.
So Zahn will go to the line. And UCLA will have it. 3-point ball game. Despite the hot shooting of Oregon.
Yeah, and you can ill afford to miss those one-on-one free throws. If you're Oregon, you did a great job to get yourself to the line. You have to take advantage of it.
Nice pass that time for Mata, but again, it's Brooks who fast hands it away. Brooks ahead to Porter for three. Went halfway down, came out. That was not an easy shot. And we're going to get a grab foul on Chamberlain Iguchi.
Yeah, and are they going to call it intentional? It looked like it was away from the ball. And Iguchi, they're not going to call it intentional. They say just out of bounds. Well, it can be a big disadvantage to UCLA because obviously it stops the break. They had numbers. Yeah, see, I think Ben Holland, he's going to ask the official right now, why is that not an intentional foul?
And he has an argument.
I'm telling you, he's got an argument. That play stopped a 3-on-2 fast break. Iguchi just took a foul on a wingman. That's exactly what he's talking about. All right, we're going to get a good look at it. And here's UCLA. I mean, Roll is going down, and Iguchi 25 there just looked like he held on the way down the floor, and that's where they get the foul.
Well, UCLA doing a great job on the boards. They're outboarding Oregon 9-3. Of course, Oregon hasn't missed any shots. Second chance points, 6-0 for UCLA, and that's different so far.
Barry, when you don't miss any shots,
yeah,
you know, there's not a lot of rebounds.
And it's not an important stat.
But, you know, it's hard to rebound if you're not missing any. Well, and the Ducks uncharacteristically have turned the ball over. But UCLA, one of the top defensive teams in the country, you know, they force turnovers. They force about 19, 20 turnovers a game. It's not an accident here. They're just a magnificent defensive team.
There's Roll. He could shoot it. This is his first try, though, and Zahn quick outlet Brooks. There's Brooks ahead of everybody, swatted away from behind, and then a reach-in foul. They got Zahn on the reach-in from behind.
And Ernie Kent, nice play to reach around that time by Ship. And Ernie Kent just telling the freshman Porter, slow it down. You didn't have numbers. Let's back it out. A little over-exuberance that time by Dewan Porter.
And Baumute, little floater, too hard. Fight for the rebound. Brooks gets it out of there. 1-on-2. And Brooks will back it out. Brooks this time drops it down to Zahn. And Zahn, now they're going to get a timeout because Zahn's bleeding.
So Zahn will have to come out of the game.
Well, he'll take a standing 8 count here. He'll have to come out. And that's a cut above the eye. And those are the kinds of cuts that don't stop bleeding easily. Maybe they have a good cut man, though. Hey, a reminder, tonight our Pac-10 basketball doubleheader will continue. The UNC Trojans will take the court against the Oregon State Beavers. Coverage beginning at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock out here on the left coast. And how about USC?
How about USC coming in here and certainly Tim Floyd's team playing terrific basketball. Taj Gibson, a freshman, came in here, Barry. 18 points, 13 rebounds, and by the way, 7 blocks. So, you know, talk about all the outstanding freshmen in the league. Sometimes he goes unnoticed, but having a great year.
No question about it.
They walked there. Nope, didn't walk.
Got away with it. Lunan gets his own rebound and scores. Count it and 1. That was tough.
Well, not only tough, but just unbelievable presence of mind of Marty Lunan to not travel in that situation. Mata did not go for the fakes. He stayed down. Lunan just terrific intensity to get back up there and complete a 3-point. So far, let me tell you, this game has not disappointed.
No, not at all. Oregon leads it by 6. Incidentally, that was the first offensive rebound for the Ducks.
Their first miss in a while.
Yeah, that's right. Now I think we have something on the floor here. Collison's going to come back into the UCLA lineup. Westbrook will leave. I thought Westbrook gave Ben Howland some productive minutes.
Yes, he did. Good job by Westbrook to come in and give this team a lift. You got to get Collison back in there. Obviously, he's a primetime guy and having a big year. You know, the other thing, Barry, that UCLA does, Do you notice how they get back defensively so well? You don't get any easy transition scores against the Bruins.
Gucci got a hand on that, knocked it out of bounds. Bruins will maintain possession. Incidentally, all the Oregon scoring has been done by Brooks, Taylor, and Lumen so far. And Aflalo has not scored for UCLA.
He will.
Oh, I know he will.
UCLA similar to getting back on defense like Washington State.
Yeah.
What a year they're having. Congratulations to Tony Bennett on an unbelievable start.
And I really believe they will battle Arizona.
Oh, you bet. They'll give Arizona all they want. Good night.
There's Collison in the lane. Fall away. Won't go. And there is Aboyas with the rebound. Aboya, of course, one of two from Yaoundé in the Cameroons. The other one being from Bamute. Hard off the window, won't go. Taylor ahead of everybody is Porter to the basket, and he missed it. And the follow is by Gucci. That's what you're supposed to do.
Never anticipate your teammate will make a breakaway. You follow the play. How about Champ Gucci? What a dynamite move to just go in and tip it in.
And Oregon now leads it by 8. We told you about Gucci. I mean, he is the definitive street shooter. Now, he hasn't been shooting it very well from the perimeter, but now he's stepping up, doing the other things. Crowd here at backcourt, of course, is loving it.
Well, and remember, Champ Gucci had the sprained ankle, and he was hurt earlier, too. This rarely happens. You get ahead of that defense, and look at Gucci. Just a super move to get back there and follow it in. So we saw him earlier in the year. He was not playing, and, you know, just couldn't wait to get back in that lineup, but he had the bad ankle. Now he's playing very well.
Yeah, no question about it. Member of the Nigerian national team, and a productive member of that team, incidentally. Well, one of the wins that really, I think, stamped Oregon this year as a very good team is this win on the road at Georgetown. And they beat them up.
Yeah, they played very well, and it was a big, I think it brought everybody's attention to the Ducks when they went in and beat Georgetown. And don't forget, they won at Rice, too, and they were down at Rice, and that game was almost over. And they did a real good job to come back and win that game. So Ernie Kidd said, you know, we thought we lost the Rice game, but Aaron Brooks just wouldn't let us lose it.
And if you're wondering how good Georgetown is, now they hit a bit of a skid, but today they're leading Notre Dame with about a minute to play by 25 points.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, Notre Dame's only, what, 13-1?
Yeah. There's Malik Hairston. We mentioned him earlier. He's got a heel injury, has been unable to play, and he is one of the stars of this team.
Well, Malik had a groin problem earlier in the year that kept him out. Then a heel now. So obviously they're probably going to get him back in about a week. Wallow needs to get going a bit.
They're defending it pretty well. Taylor doing a great job on him. Aflalo misses short that time. Another offensive rebound, though, by Aboya. Well, they had him Bamute down low. Place is a dim. Ship off the baseline, too hard. And another chance. Collison gets in amongst the trees, forces it up, misses. Follow is up and good that time by Ship. Crowd doesn't like it, but
they don't like it. But great basketball by the Bruins. How about second and third efforts? That's their strength in this game. They've got an advantage on the glass. Take and go in there and finalize when you get the opportunity.
So the Bruins trailing the Ducks by 6, and the Ducks shooting lights out here. And there's two Ducks going down one over the other. We'll take a timeout with 6:08 remaining here in the first half. Oregon leads the UCLA Bruins by 6. We're coming back. We welcome you back. That guy in a white shirt there, very familiar face in these parts. That's Joey Harrington, former quarterback here at the University of Oregon, now with the Miami Dolphins. Got a chance to chat with Joey at halftime a little bit.
Well, what a great defensive job by Oregon. Here's Collison and watch Tawan Porter. Collison's having a tough time getting his rhythm. He's 0 for 4, only with 1 play. Look at him jump out on Collison, not give him any shots, and try to limit the penetration by Darren Collison. That's exactly what you have to do. And now UCLA, The bad news is they're down by 6. But I think there's a little good news, too. You got to remember, Aflalo has not scored. Collison has 1 point. Now, you'd think eventually those two players are going to get it going.
Meantime, Brooks at the line. Aaron Brooks, of course, very good free throw shooter, although he missed one down the stretch against USC that was costly.
Yeah, he got fouled right at the end of the game and had needed all 3 to tie. And missed that second, then he missed the third on purpose.
Here's Roll with Iguchi in his pocket. You got to credit the Ducks for playing great defense. Westbrook all the way.
He's been a catalyst when he's on the floor. I mean, he's answered the bell a couple of times.
Very quick first step. Now Brooks will back it out, brings Aflalo with him. Good effort to keep that alive by Brooks to Taylor. He's picked by Roll. 3-on-2 now. Roll in the middle, on the wing this time. It's shipped to the basket.
Wasn't that a beautiful job by Ship to avoid any contact and make sure he finished the play? That's what they got quick hands. The Bruins, they're a scintillating defensive team, and there again they steal the ball and Roll good decision making in the open court. And again, you don't want to charge, you want to be under control going to the goal. UCLA with a quick score.
Incidentally, a report on Adam Zahn. He got that cut over his eye just a few moments ago. He went off to the locker room. Took 4 stitches above the eye, but he'll be back. Ernie Kent will talk it over with his team while we take a moment to recognize our U.S. Bank Pac-10 Conference Player of the Week. And it was this guy right here. Got a lot of help from his friends, though. But Ivan Radenovic, is another guy who has really stepped up in his senior season.
Well, we talked about senior leadership on that Arizona team, and with Mustafa Shakur and Ivan Radenovic. Congratulations to Ivan, our U.S. Bank Pac-10 Player of the Week. By the way, his teammate Marcus Williams that week, Barry, he shot 22 times from the floor, and he made 18.
Yes, he did.
But Radenovic, that shows you how great Radenovic was.
He was punished for missing the 4.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Here's Brooks, got around the Aflalo and puts it in with a reverse big time.
And here's another senior. Well, what a move by Aaron. He's having an uncanny year for the Ducks.
Here's Westbrook again. Well, the Ducks really playing some tough defense. That time Roll got loose, missed a shot at the line.
Well, here again, Aaron Brooks, and there's a good lesson for young guys watching. You notice Aaron, how he shoots with either hand. If he shot that ball with his right hand, first probably would have been blocked. Did a good job to go all the way under the goal and get it up left-handed up on the window and do a beautiful job of getting it in. And Brooks, again, he just had a big game. Right from the start, he has taken over this game, and he said, I'm going to make it happen this afternoon.
Roll at the free throw line, gets the first. Babote comes back into the UCLA lineup, and Aflalo will leave. Aflalo, as Dan mentioned, scoreless in this ballgame so far. But again, you can't emphasize enough, he will get his. Roll second, try to make this a 4-point game.
Oregon's got Churchill Odia into the game. Here's another guy that was hurt earlier, and he's getting a good look. Nice pass again. Oh, what great interior passing.
There's Roll outside. Brooks guarding him. Drop it down this time. Tried to go over the top and couldn't do it. Again, well defended by the Oregon Ducks. Corridor bring it across. Ducks by 6. Headed down toward 4 minutes. Picked clean by Roll. And this will be easy.
You talk about how to play a pick and roll defensively. UCLA jump. They are not allowing the Oregon guards to turn the corner. They are jumping out on them and negating anything they want on the outside. Well defended.
2 steals by Roll. There's Lunan. It's on the floor. O'Boyan gets there.
They take a timeout.
And they did get it called. Good job by Marty Lunan. Ernie Kent is incensed about something. I'm not quite sure what. He's barking at Brooks and Lunan.
Yeah, roll that time just could not. He's trying to get it inside. I mean, he's got the right thought. He just cannot make the correct pass. And then look at that steal. But that steal was caused by terrific two-man defense by UCLA. I mean, they jump out on guys, and they do not allow you. Boy, he just gets right flat out on that on the dribbler and stopped. And I think Ernie Kent's upset at his guys. I said, look, we got to back it out in that situation. We got to make a better decision. Don't force it. Barry, what's going on in the ACC?
Well, you know, Sunday Night Hoops coming back. It's presented by Pizza Hut. It'll be back this week. Stanford has to go all the way back to Virginia. They lost to Cal earlier at home this week. Now they got to go back to Virginia. And if you want to know what that's all about, just ask Lute Olson. Tip-off show gets underway at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. Then it's Stanford, Virginia, and then Florida State and North Carolina.
Yeah, Virginia, you know, really did a number on Gonzaga also. I mean, that's not going to be an easy trip for Stanford. Of course, the Lopez twins, last time they were on the road at Arizona, they played well.
Played great. Ship long 3. Misses, and then followed by Mbamute. Missed that one. Westbrook steps in, and he misses.
Like they can't, Oregon just had a tough time getting it off the glass.
Odia finally gets it out of there for the Ducks.
Odia, see, he wants the ball back.
He's long. Porter with Westbrook on him. Odia swinging around for Brooks. A little clear out here. Brooks one-on-one with Aflalo, and Aflalo got it.
I'd say he's a tough cover.
Yeah. We'll take a timeout with 3:06 left in a 4-point ball game. Ducks 31, UCLA 27. We'll be back. Oregon leads the #1 ranked UCLA Bruins by 4, 31-27. We want to remind you, tomorrow it's the NFC wildcard game. The Giants looking to extend their season. They'll take on the Philadelphia Eagles in a postseason game between bitter division rivals. Coverage of the NFC wildcard begins tomorrow at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific in high def on Fox. Aaron Brooks having a very nice game so far. 12 points, got a couple of assists. They'll go to the free throw line, try to add to that.
Oh, what a big discrepancy there in that graphic. You see UCLA has attempted 29 shots, Oregon 15. But Oregon's made 11 of them. So the Bruins have done a good job on the offensive glass, getting 2nd and 3rd and 4th attempts. They haven't got them all down, but you know, that has to stop for the Ducks if they're going to win this game. They got to find a better way to get that ball off the board. Eventually, it'll catch up to you. Now the press looks like Oregon proactive, Barry. They're going to show a 1-2-2-3 quarter court and see if they can trap up and get a steal.
There's Westbrook inside of 3 minutes remaining first half.
This would be a good time for Aflalo to make a shot. You know, rolls out of the game, so it'd be a perfect time for him to get it down. Well, he had a good look.
And Aboya can't get it. So again, an offensive rebound. And finally, on the 3rd try, Aboya gets it down. Boy, Aboya's been all over the place on the boards.
You know, it's been a volleyball effort up there in the glass for UCLA. And you just keep shooting until you make it.
There's Taylor. Now Lunan. Lunan steps back, open 3. Got it.
How about Marty Lunan? How about him? You talk about improved players in the league. Marty Lunan, I mean, last year to this year is just like unbelievable. I mean, he's like playing all conference basketball for Oregon. Between he and Bryce, well, no wonder they've only lost 1 game. Getting a little glimpse of the Ducks here this afternoon.
Porter got a hand on that. Run down by Ship, 12 on the shot clock. Westbrook steps in. And a foul, let's see who got it.
Maybe Catron, there was some contact.
And it was Catron. Right now, the Ducks are playing small and playing effectively.
Yeah, they're playing small. The only difficulty, they're just not able to get it off the defensive glass, but they're not missing any shots. And, you know, Westbrook, again, you know, he's been an integral part of keeping UCLA in contact in this game. Doesn't get that one down. I think Ben Holland saw the zone. Okay, we're going to put Roll in the game. And now Ernie Kent, I'm sure, will go back man-to-man. I mean, the way Roll is shooting the ball and the games he's had, it's tough to zone the Bruins when he's on the floor, especially when he and Ship together.
1 out of 2 for Westbrook. Looks at a 5-point ball game. Or rather, a 6-point ball game. Allison back in the game for Westbrook now. Brooks split him, but then lost the ball. 5-on-1. A Flalo to Collison, and they couldn't get it down. Don't see those numbers very often.
Yeah, the penetration was too deep. You know, Barry, we talked about the guy with the ball, if he dribbles all the way into the defender right here, I mean, one guy can defend like 3 or 4. You got to stop. And it's not bad for the guy with the ball to stop and just shoot the ball from about 5 feet. Pretty good shot. Got rebounded.
There's Porter. Porter the blow by. High off the window, won't go. Keefe snatches it away from the Bruins. Here's Collison. Roll. They jump out on him in a hurry. Now a Flalo. Still scoreless. Pick clean. 3-on-1 for the Ducks. Brooks in the middle. Taylor on the wing to the basket. And that's got the crowd going.
Boy, how do you like it, Oregon? They're doing a great job in their transition. See, UCLA could not score in the open court, but this is a small lineup. You've got Brooks and Porter. You've got 2 point guards. And here's the attempt at the steal, and no question Taylor's going to finish this way.
And then, of course, a turnover at the other end. So the Ducks have it back and have an 8-point lead, equaling their biggest of the night.
Now they're going to spread it. Of course, UCLA in foul jeopardy. You don't want to foul if you're the Bruins. Well, that's a pretty good shot. Barry, have they missed any shots? They don't miss any shots.
They are 13 of 18 in this first half, and they lead the Bruins by 10. Brooks with 16. Listen to the crowd. Just listen. Is this place rocking?
It's rocking, and UCLA's going to have to shoot the ball. Got about a 5-second discrepancy. They got to take it in and shoot it.
Westbrook did. He missed the shot.
We got time here.
We got plenty of time.
We got plenty of time. Head up. Look out here.
Taylor, fall away. No, at the buzzer. Wow! What a first half by the Oregon Ducks. And, of course, the fans at Matt Court loving what they're seeing. And why not? What's not to love? As they shot lights out in the first half. And the Oregon Ducks playing at home lead the #1 ranked and undefeated UCLA Bruins by 10. It's 40-30. The Acura halftime report coming up after this. Well, the pit crew here at Matt Court is ready to start the second half. Their team leads it 40-30. Welcome to the pit. Believe me when I tell you, that's a facetious comment. They don't welcome anybody to the pit that's not wearing yellow and green.
Well, you wonder, Barry, in the second half. I mean, can Flalo and Collison go scoreless? I don't think so. UCLA completely dominated the glass. You know, they had 13 offensive rebounds in the first half, but the Ducks shot 20 times, and by the way, made 14 of them. Now, you don't think that's going to happen. It's not going to keep going. So UCLA has to hang in there, run their offense. Long way to go in this one.
Here's Ship. Ship trying to back Brooks down. Turnover to start the second half. Oguchi for 3. Look out. Bottom with a rebound. 3 Oregon players had 38 of the 40 points that the Ducks put on the board in the first half.
I mean, you're looking at Lunan had a big half, and so did Taylor. And of course, you know, they get
Collison knocks down a 3 to start. So that his first basket. See if that doesn't kickstart the Bruins.
Of course, Aaron Brooks was the other one at 38 out of 40. And that's a big goal for UCLA. It kind of silences everybody, gets Collison going. Only had 1 point in the first half.
Well, Marty Lunan had everything but the finish. And Ship gets it out of there. Here come the Bruins.
UCLA will make a run.
Oh, no question.
You know that.
Well, actually, I thought they did pretty well to stay as close as they were in the first half. Flalo.
Now look out now. So what happens to start the second half? Collison with a 3, Flalo with a bomb, and now it's a 4-point game. And you know, once Flalo gets going, I mean, he's capable of putting up 20 in the second half.
But he won't force anything. Very unselfish player. There's a hand check called against Mbamute. Third foul on Mbamute. UCLA was just 1 of 9 from beyond the arc in the first half, and they made their first 2 to start the second half.
Yeah, there's some jeopardy in terms of fouls for UCLA. I mean, they had 4 players with 2 fouls in the first half. Now, Mbamute picks up his 3rd.
Taylor comes up short. And now the Bruins a chance to cut into this lead more. There's Collison, the blow-by. And he'll go to the line.
Well, UCLA, Barry, starting exactly like Oregon did in the first half. And here you see Darren Collison. And we know Collison and Flalo are just, I mean, they're great basketball players, and they are not going to have the same kind of half in the second half that they did the first. It's just not going to happen.
Collison knocks down the first free throw. Mbamute on the bench with 3 fouls. I suspect he will stay there for a while.
I think Ben Holland's got a bit of a juggling act to do. I mean, if Oregon can continue taking it to the goal and get some fouls on UCLA, he's going to have to go to that bench, and the bench is going to have to perform for UCLA to win.
Collison converts both free throws.
Pretty good start here. It's an 8-zip run here in the second half.
Brooks, pull up. Got it. Still hasn't missed a shot. And that one was big.
Matchup zone again by Oregon. Get a great look at it, trying to match up with the guy in your area.
Collison directing traffic here. Ship for 3, in and out. Lunan off the hands of Mata for the rebound. Aaron Brooks, 5 of 5 from the field, 6 of 6 from the line.
Now that high pick and roll, that high screen and roll has not gone.
Porter just short.
Yeah, he can't find one this afternoon. Porter not only didn't score in the first half, had a tough half, made 5 turnovers. So he obviously has to do a better job in the second half. But tough, you know, he's a freshman, came up big to start the year. He's kind of hit the wall a bit, had that ankle injury that slowed him down. But still capable of putting on a little bit of a streak if you give him open looks.
Marty Lunan with a good job to knock it off the leg of Lunan. So Oregon maintained, or rather Lunan knocking off the leg of Ship. Oregon maintains possession and a big time finish.
Well, I would say that's a high percentage shot.
Yeah.
You know, when you're having trouble from the perimeter, let's just rip it to the goal if you're Marty Lunan, and as Lunan had a sensational game. I mean, he is just coming up big. Good job to put it on the floor and make something happen.
And Lunan converts a 3-point play. And it's back to a 6-point lead, 7-point lead. And Ben Howland is going to bring Mbamute back. UCLA has not really been able to quiet this crowd. Flalo, kick back, open 3, Collison, in and out. Odia with a rebound.
Yeah, Odia came in. That was a great rebound in traffic.
So now the Ducks with a chance to extend again. Nice pass down low to Brooks. Brooks got down amongst the trees. Porter for three, comes up short, and his struggles continue. They're shipped to Aflalo.
Can't leave the ball.
Open. They did.
Barry, you can never leave the man with the ball, even though he's not your guy, especially if it's Aaron Aflalo. You can't just say, I'm not going to guard you.
2 threes to start the second half for Aflalo, and it is back to a 4-point game. We're coming back. Welcome back to Matt Court. It is again a 4-point ball game. UCLA after going 1 of 9 beyond the arc in the first half, 3 of 5 to start the second half.
Yeah, and isn't it a coincidence that it's been Aflalo who did not get a score in the first half, and Collison that's made some big shots, bringing UCLA back.
Well, Aflalo's one of those guys, and we've said it all through the first half. He's going to get his. He's a very unselfish player, and even though it's a cliche, I'll use it anyway. He waits for the game to come to him.
Now the Bruins, their primary defense, have been man-to-man the whole game, and that's what they'll stay in.
That's a kick. They're going to reset. And we'll take a timeout. 15:46 remaining in the ball game. What was a 10-point Oregon lead is now a 4-point Oregon lead. And we're coming back to Matt Court after this. Well, UCLA has chopped this lead to 4. A second time it's been 4 here in the second half. Ducks with the ball. Brooks to inbound. This is Odia with the ball, guarded by Mbamute, playing with 3 fouls.
It's a big factor to see if whomever Mbamute's guarding can pick up that 4th foul. I mean, obviously he's a freshman of the year in the Pac-10 last year, shot clock.
And Brooks, the floater, that's his first miss.
I'm going to say it tipped off. Oh, UCLA not happy with that. Looked like the Bruins could save the ball.
So now 4 on the shot clock.
Now the officials felt they had a good look. You're right, 4 seconds left on the 35. Got to get it up here now. First one in. Got to look for it.
Here's Brooks. Penetrate, floater. I think Mbamute got a hand on it. An offensive rebound for Marty Lunan.
Well, Porter, number 12, is like wide open, but a little reticent to look for his shot because he hasn't been able to knock one down.
Here's Lunan. Lunan draws a crowd. Good pass out of the double team by Lunan. Now Brooks. Brooks trying to break it down against the bigger Aboya and drew the foul.
Barry, Brooks is the great equalizer because he's a guy that is so difficult to guard. You got to really move your feet to try to stay in front of him, but easier said than done.
And a turnover. Collison to roll, back to Collison. A little sense of urgency in UCLA.
Yeah, and if they get going, like, I think roll, that's a good shot for him. Although he missed it, he's got to look again. If he's open, let it go.
Collison on the floor over Lunan. No, too hard. There's Brooks 1-on-3. Odia had a look, passed it up.
Yeah, I think that's a good pass up. Give it to Brooks. Why not? Oh, Odia makes a smart play. He doesn't force it. He allows the game to flow. And if anybody's going to, how about Brooks? He has just been sensational this afternoon.
Been sensational this whole week. Aflalo for 3, he's got another one. Look out now. 3 threes for Aaron Aflalo in the second half. Back to a 4-point game. Here's Lunan. Lunan 1-on-1 with Aboya. Waits for help, makes a little spin move. Good job by Aboya defensively. Here's Lunan again. Pump fake, step in, leave it for Brooks. Brooks kick out Porter, wide open. Got it.
I think Porter needed it. He's saying to himself, I know I can make a 3-point shot, just hasn't been able to do it. But UCLA They're running a Flalo through some screens, and he's really got it going in the second half. It's only a 7-point game. Oregon playing superb basketball, but they're right there.
Yeah,
right in the game.
I think this game is teetering, and honestly, I think it could go either way. Despite this crowd.
I got to think the crowd's worth 5 points today.
I think so, too.
Usually it's a couple points, but today it's 5.
Fourth foul was just picked up by Mbamute, and now he'll have to sit for a long time.
And that's huge. Mbamute, you know, he's their guy that can score around the basket, a great defender and a rebounder. So Luke Richard on the bench is not good news for UCLA. Well, what it means, Barry, you're the #1 team in the country. Other guys have to step up.
Well, that's right. Well, and they've got guys who can do it. Actually, I think Aboya has played pretty well.
Yes, he has. Aboya's done a beautiful job defensively for UCLA. He's a good rebounder, and you'll have to give him some offense.
There's Collison will back it out. This place is absolutely nuts today. Great defense being played by Oregon. There's Ship. Forced it up. Fight for the rebound. Jump ball call. It's going to be Oregon ball.
Nice effort by Aboya. You know, we talked about him. He went after that rebound. It's not UCLA ball on the possession, but Aboya, he comes from the weak side to keep this one alive. And the Bruins just get, look at Aboya, just crashes in there and gets that jump ball situation out of bounds on the possession there. Will go to Oregon.
So Brooks will walk it across the timeline here. Just under 13 minutes left in the game. Ducks by 7. Brooks, a little crossover and a kick out. Now they clear out for Brooks. All the way. And one. They've run that play, what, 4 or 5 times today?
Yeah, they have, and they may say he was fouled prior to the shot. See, I don't think they're going to give him the goal. He is like lightning. Well, that was close. He was like lightning quick all the way to the 10 that time, but foul first. Right there was the foul.
Good call.
NBA, it's a definite continuation and good by a long shot, but not here.
There's Brooks again. Now Odia bringing Mbamute, who is back on the floor with 4 fouls. You got to think they're going to take it to him.
You would think, not only that, but big. How about it?
Odia, what a nice stroke, though. Keith pulls down the rebound for UCLA. Well, it's an interesting strategy.
Right, it's a big decision by Ben Holland to bring Mbamute. He knows the game is right there for the taking, and Mbamute's a smart guy, and he just has to play now within himself. Takes a lot of skill to play in foul trouble.
Aaron Aflalo guarded by Odia and a whistle away from the ball. And I got to tell you, it's so
you can't hear the whistle.
I did not hear the whistle.
Don't feel bad. The players, they barely heard it either.
We'll take a timeout with 11:58. We'll find out who the foul's on, because I sure didn't see it. Oregon led by 10 at the half. They lead by 7 now. Just under 12 minutes remaining to be played in the ball game. It has been the Aaron Brooks show today.
Well, Aaron Brooks has just had one of those afternoons. Of course, he had a great weekend, had 31 and lost to USC, and he's been really on fire for the Ducks today. In this half, I mean, he's made some threes. He didn't get that goal, but went to the foul line. They called it before the shot, rather. They took it out of bounds. And now we come back at UCLA with the ball underneath their own goal.
There's Aaron Aflalo and a quick whistle. And incidentally, we should correct one thing. We are told that one of those fouls that originally was given to Mbamute was changed and was given to Aboya. And so Mbamute has 3 fouls, not 4.
Yeah, you thought it was not in character to have him in the game if he had 4 fouls. And he does have 3.
Now Mata will come back into the game. There's Ship.
You know, Barry, they're going to look for Collison if they can run him off a screen, and he's got a size advantage on Brooks. I mean, he can definitely shoot it over him.
Oregon not allowing very much, though, at the free throw line or on the elbows. Here's using Bamuta. He can make that, but he misses everything. Taylor gets it out of there. Now a chance to extend this lead. How about the game of this guy right here? Marty Lunan just played brilliant.
And a great decision maker. You notice they run everything through Lunan, and he's just a guy that does not turn it over. Now that's a tough shot.
Then get it, Zahn with the miss, and Model the rebound. Behind the Mon screen. They're not allowing that pick and roll either.
Well, neither team. Both teams doing a beautiful defensive job, and I think that's the other way.
No question.
Anytime it was Gucci again. Well, you can make an impact in the game by your defense, and Gucci has done that this afternoon. A couple of times now, he's stepped in the way and drawn the charge.
Now Westbrook will come back for Ben Howland's Bruins.
Remember this Oregon team went to the Bahamas in the offseason. They kind of bonded. Then they got into a great conditioning program where the seniors, Zahn and Brooks, led this team, and they went on the track, and they ran 200s, and they ran 100s and 80s, a ton of them. And Ernie Kidd says, we're in great physical condition. Good move by Brooks again. Look like they just cleared aside. And they don't look tired out there.
No, I
mean, either does UCLA, but this Oregon team just rededicated themselves in the offseason by that track conditioning, and it's really helped them.
Well, they did not allow UCLA to get all the way back in it. The Bruins got the 4 twice in this half, and the Ducks had an answer every time. Offensive foul on Collison. Incidentally, we should tell you that Zahn is wearing number 54 now, not his usual 42, because he took some stitches in the eye, and I guess the jersey was ruined.
Yeah, I'm sure it had blood on the jersey, and they switched it, but same old Adam Zahn. Just a heads-up defensive play by Zahn to stepping away.
Steal by Collison, steal back by Porter, taken away again by Collison.
Remember, Barry, Darren Collison had 9 steals in one game. It was against Long Beach earlier in the year.
And that's how they throw it away.
Yeah, that's not typical of Darren Collison.
Incidentally, 4 UCLA Bruins had 3 fouls. Collison, Bamute, Aboya, and Aflalo all have 3 fouls.
Yeah, and Ben Howland will still stay man-to-man. They're not going to go zone and try to protect. They're still going to come out and challenge. The Bruins now need to stop. I mean, there's plenty of time in this game. But you can ill afford to have all these go down.
Brooks with a rare miss, only his 2nd miss of the game. Ship coming off the baseline. He draws a crowd, forces it up and in. And we're back to a 7-point ball game. With Champa Gucci. Now Lunan.
A lot of movement without the ball. Now Porter has to make a good decision here. You can't force it. This guy can force it.
Yeah, he can.
He's going to force it to get Brooks the ball. Good job again defensively.
Lunan for 3. And a good look, just missed it. And here's Westbrook. Long 3. Got it.
Why, Westbrook, has he been valuable to UCLA? Coming off that bench, I mean, he's excited. He's into it. Gave the Bruins a couple of scores in the first half. Comes right in and drills a 3.
Freshman playing at backcourt for the first time.
Here again, you see Westbrook. You can't sag off him. Nobody really guarded him. Nobody challenged him, and he did a good job to be under control and come to that jump stop and got a very good look. Russell Westbrook just doing a good job here for UCLA. And the Bruins, by the way, right back in the game, only 4 down.
Absolutely, and it's the 3rd time they've been there. Haven't been able to get inside that. Monday, the game college football fans have been waiting for. Chris Leak and the Florida Gators take on the Heisman Trophy winner Troy Smith and the Ohio State Buckeyes. The first ever Tostitos BCS National Championship game. Our coverage beginning Monday at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific and high def only on Fox.
How about that Boise State Oklahoma game?
One of the best college football games I have ever seen.
How about the hook and ladder at the end of the game?
And the Statue of Liberty.
And the Statue of Liberty.
Well, Chris Peterson, the coach at Boise State, spent some time here at Oregon. He was on the offensive staff, and he was the quarterback's coach, if I remember right, under Mike Bellotti at Oregon.
Pretty good football program, too, here at Oregon.
Yeah, it is. Pretty good sports program in general.
Remember, Oregon, no Jordan Kent this year. Jordan Kent's going to concentrate on football there. And, of course, he's an outstanding track athlete, the son of Ernie Kent.
Westbrook penetrate, missed a shot. He'll go to the line. Foul on Zahn, and the Bruins can get to within 2.
Well, Oregon, in their transition defense, has forgotten about Russell Westbrook. I mean, the one time he comes out and makes a 3, and they just haven't found him in the open court. And to his credit, proactivity. And if you're there, go ahead and see if you can finish the play. And Westbrook doing a nice job. Boy, he has been unbelievable.
UCLA's bench has been unbelievable. 16 points off the bench for UCLA. The Ducks do not have a point off the bench. There is the UCLA bench, and they've got contributions. Guys like Keefe and a boy you saw sitting next to him. And Westbrook just calmly knocks 2 in, and it's a 2-point game. Westbrook has the last 5 UCLA points.
Yeah, Taylor's been a little quiet for Oregon. He had a nice start in the first half, but the Bruins have done a good defensive job on it.
Good job by Bamute. Got a hand on that ball. Now Porter. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Porter, tough 3. Shows you what I know.
Are you serious? Tough 3. I mean, Porter, that was a 5 feet behind the NBA
and guarded.
And guarded. How do you like it?
That was a huge basket. Back to a 5-point game. Doesn't this just have the shapings of a game that will go down to the last possession?
It sure feels that way. I mean, the Bruins have done a great job to hang in there.
Aflalo misses. Taylor the rebound. 2-on-2. Taylor will wait for Brooks the trailer, or rather Porter the trailer. Now Gucci flashing baseline. And 1.
You got to give Porter a pat in the back. He did not force it. Yeah, I thought he had a chance to shoot it, but it would have been under duress. What did he do? He gave it to Champ Oguchi, and Oguchi with an attack goal all the way to the basket. Well, you know, we've had a ton of...
Ducks lead it by 7. They have not been headed up by UCLA since the midway point of the first half. 7:09 remaining in the ball game. And here's a guy who's really been a catalyst and is keeping UCLA in the game.
Yes, he is in both halves. You see Russell Westbrook, you know, as a 6'3" freshman from Lusinger High School, and he just does a heck of a job coming in, making things. A beautiful shooter. I mean, he's got that nice touch. He can put it on the ground and go to the goal. And getting significant playing time in this one. UCLA's got some foul jeopardy. There's no question. We thought their bench would have to come up big in the second half, and they have. It's just the Ducks are playing at a very high level in this one. They're just not missing many shots.
Well, Bamute picked up his 4th a moment ago.
Now Oregon back in that matchup. Ship has to be active also. Get Ship on the wing. You got Ship and Aflalo and Collison, 3 terrific perimeter guys.
Ship opportunity, and he got it.
I think Josh Ship has to kind of look for his shot within the frame of the offense. But if you're in that matchup zone, I mean, he's a devastating shooter. Good steal here, almost good steal.
Collison got a hand on that as Oguchi came across the paint.
Key point of the game. You got Brooks on the bench, so the onus is on this guy right here with the ball. Porter has to do the job, not only shooting it, but he's got to make very good decisions when he's coming off screen.
6:05 on the shot clock, and the shot is blocked by Collison, and they're going to say he got it.
Van Hollen went over and asked Darren, did you get him? And he said no. Collison thought he had leather. If it's Darren Collison, 4th personal foul. Again, good job by the Bruins offensively not to give up any. See right, Well, you know,
he got a lot of the orange.
Yeah, he did. A little difficult to tell if his body did not move into Porter. Regardless, it's a 3-point. This young man at the line, Gary, 93, you heard it right, % free throw shooter from the foul line.
Leading the Pac-10 Conference. 6:15 left. It's a 6-point Oregon lead. UCLA has not led since 8-7. Porter's had a nice second half.
Well, you remember a player at St. Peter's, Barry, that you really liked, Keidron Clark. When Keidron was a freshman, he led the nation in scoring a couple of years. He had all kinds of threes. Well, Porter is challenging that 3-point record of Keidron Clark. I mean, he's a guy that can really do it from deep. And you don't want to foul him late in the game.
Marty Lunan comes back. Zahn leaves. Brooks will come back as well. Patron will leave. So now the Ducks back to their original starting lineup. UCLA in some serious foul jeopardy. 2 players on the floor with 4 fouls.
Yeah, Ernie Kemp, he's hoping is there a 10-shot foul opportunity, because I'd like to get Porter there to shoot 10 in a row.
You're not kidding. So Porter gets all 3. And that gets the crowd involved, of course. There's Ship. Ship just takes Porter, give it up nicely to the cutting of boy into the basket and 1.
This Bruin team is just an excellent interior passing team. And there was not a whole lot of room there to make that little pass, and a great job of Ship to break the defense and find Boya.
So Boya will try to convert with 3-point play and get the Bruins back to 6. Doesn't do it. There's Taylor ahead of everybody, but Ship got back nicely. Now Brooks, they're trying to use the little clock here.
Yeah, you can't get too conservative. I think Lunan a touch might be appropriate, except UCLA stole the ball again. They stole it right back.
Brooks took it right back. Leaves for Aguchi and another steal. Collison steps in front. Collison, floater, Aboye never really caught the ball. Blown opportunity for the Bruins. Here's Taylor. Now Porter. Tough 3. That's a shot I'm sure Ernie Kent would not want.
Emotional shot that time by Tuampa. Well, he had made a few, and Ernie, to his credit, kind of clapped his hands. He knows this guy could still make it. But you're right. I mean, if you had to do it over again, you back it out. How about letting Aaron Brooks see what he can do in Lunan? Run the ball through those 2 players. UCLA is still, I'm telling you, they are still right there in this game. They're only 7 down in the ball.
They're more than just breathing here. There's a Flalo open 3. No, short. And Baumute over the top, fighting for the rebound. Great job by Taylor to keep it alive.
I think now you get a few touches. But it's getting down to that part of the game where it's the Lunan Brooks show if you're the Ducks.
Well, here's Brooks, the penetration all the way to the basket, comes up short. And a reach in on Brooks.
Still a non-shooting situation. 6th deep foul on Oregon. UCLA has 8, so the Bruins will get it out of bounds.
Ernie Kent up off the bench, get a little counseling to Juwan Porter. And Bahamute, nice dish, but Mata couldn't hang on. All of a sudden, Bruins having trouble holding on to passes. 2 trips in a row. There's Taylor, comes across the lane, flips it up for Lunan, and a foul before. They will get Ship on the foul.
There are some quick hands in this game, and you know, we talked about bringing the ball down if you're a big man, and that time Mata had the ball, but he brought it below his waist, and Taylor in the right place at the right time to steal the ball, and then right back at the other end. Price has been somewhat quiet. You know, he hasn't had to score as much. He's played good defense. He's worked hard. Now gets to the foul line.
Taylor gets his first of the second half. He's got 10 in the ball game. Gets them both. 9-point Oregon lead. Clock not yet a factor. Ship all the way, too hard, but he draws the foul. They'll get Lunan on this. And we'll take a timeout. Just under 4 minutes remaining. 3:58, a 9-point lead. Chip will go to the line when we come back. We welcome you back. You get a up-top view of Matt Court. Matt Court, incidentally, will be 80 years old on January the 14th. And the hometown Ducks putting a hurt on their #1 ranked UCLA Bruins right now. They lead by 9, but it ain't over.
No, it's not over. UCLA, they're down 9. They've made a few mistakes in the offensive end. You know, they turned the ball over a few times. They do have 15 turnovers in this game, but they can come back in a hurry. Now they've got to get to the line, and those have to start going in. Ship, we know, is an excellent shooter. Got to take advantage of the opportunity at the free throw line.
I want to remind you that most of you following our telecast, it'll be women's basketball out of the Big 12, number 9 Baylor at Kansas. But we got a lot of basketball to be played here. 1 out of 2 for Ship.
Matt Court celebrating, Barry, as you said, its 80th year. Being treated on its 80th birthday. And pretty good basketball
and
game.
no, you and I weren't at the
No, we were not doing that one. No, we can honestly say that. Now the Bruins need a couple of productive trips. They get the turnover. Oregon back in that matchup zone.
There's a Flalo, now Mote. Drop it down to a Flalo reverse. Don't go anywhere.
No, it's only a 6-point game. Timeout UCLA. I mean, you're talking 2 possessions. I mean, let me just say, there's a ton of time left in this basketball game.
And we mentioned earlier, UCLA had led last at 8-7.
Yeah, here you see the Bruins. The Bruins, Barry, have had some chances. And inexplicably, they've made some errors in terms of their shots and their passes. But let's face it, I mean, it's a big game on the road. And Oregon has played wonderful basketball. And when the Bruins, you know, they're still within striking distance, but they've lost the ball a few times right under the goal. So UCLA with 15 or 16 turnovers in the game.
And they have just used what we're told is their final timeout. And there's a long way to go here. Now they'll get some timeouts, of course, because I'm sure Ernie Kent will call a couple of timeouts, but
clock doesn't stop when you get a first down in this.
No, that's right.
Today, right?
That's right. So now Oregon's got to find an answer. They got to get this in, and they just do.
Look at the job by a Flalo guarding a much smaller, quicker player, but it shows his defensive versatility, his ability to get out on those guys and hold them down.
Shows his quickness too.
Sure
he hasn't allowed Porter to get around him at all.
You got to try to find Brooks now. And Porter's got the ball at the top.
With 8 on the shot clock, 7-6. That time he had a good look.
Oh my goodness, the long range. That was deep in the right corner.
There's a Flalo in rhythm. Look out!
And as you said, UCLA no timeouts, but you don't need to take one here. I mean, even if you had one, still plenty of time, and Ernie Kent's going to try to make a readjustment. And the Bruins only 3 down with 2:42 to go.
And a lot of Porter's teammates kind of looking askance at him for that last shot. And Brooks has gone a long way. He's gone 8 minutes without a goal, and you were saying they got to start to look for him.
And Brooks didn't have the ball at the top. I think the adjustment by Ernie Kent's going to put Aaron Brooks at the point with the ball. And Aflalo did not score in the first half, but he's come out the second half to put on a pretty good show. He's got 12 in the second half, and you know there's still plenty of time left. I said he might get 20 in the second half. That may be a stretch, but he might come close before it's over.
Yeah. Well, we'll remind you that tonight our Pac-10 basketball doubleheader will continue. The USC Trojans taking it on the road to Corvallis to battle with the Oregon State Beavers. We begin at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 Pacific, right here on FSN. Now they tell us Aflalo with 14 points, all in the second half. So he may get 20.
He may get 20. He may get his 2-0 in the second half. And now you're going to see, here's the adjustment. I think Brooks will handle a rock, especially as the shot clock winds down. Not a bad idea to give it to Lunan either. Lunan Brooks is a good combo.
Here's Brooks. Got 10 on the shot clock. Taylor takes a look at the clock. 8, 7. Puts it on the floor. Gets all the way into the paint. Can't get it to go, though. And a rebound is shipped. And here come the Bruins. Chance to cut it to 1 or tie. And the lob for Mata, too tall. They've missed 3 opportunities under the basket in the last couple of minutes.
And they had Aflalo on the wing. Just didn't quite pick up Aaron Aflalo running that wing. May have been open. Look out here.
Kick out this time. Now Odia. Had a good look. Couldn't get it to go. And Mbamute gives it up to Collison. Here come the Bruins again. Oregon not taking high percentage shots.
Bruins with poise. You know, you're behind. Here's the guy you want with the ball. Go look at that pass. What a great dish. Couldn't finish.
And I'll tell you, they've had all kinds of trouble finishing down low.
I think Ben Holland is going to talk to Josh Shipp. He may tell Shipp and Aflalo, just let it go if you're open.
Still a lot of time. 1:28 left. It's a 3-point ball game. Marty Lunan, good free throw shooter, will go to the line.
Yeah, Lunan, if you're wondering, is a 73% free throw shooter. Well, the fire alarm went off, Barry.
Yeah.
What did you do? The fire. Tompkins set the fire alarm.
And now, I think they got it under control here.
Okay, everybody's got to vacate the building.
Oh, please.
Don't go there.
Stranger things than that have happened, you know.
I haven't experienced that one yet, though. Okay, biggest game so far of the year. Okay, but everybody's got to leave. The fire alarm's going off.
I think they have it figured out now. Now the officials are going to talk. Don McAllister talking to the officials. There's Don. And Lunan converts. Making a 4-point game. And now a 5-point game.
Yeah, not much doubt in those 2 free throws.
There's Shipp driving.
They're going to get a charge again.
Yeah, they did.
Now, how many charges has Oregon taken in this game? To my recollection, 3 to 4, all critical. And here's Lunan. What more can this guy do? Marty Lunan, terrific at the offensive end, making big plays, and does a nice job to stepping away. Now UCLA's in that press mode. They've got to get after him.
You heard the crowd take up a chant, Marty, Marty, Marty.
And if there's a tough team to press in the country, it's this Oregon team. I mean, you're playing with 2 point guards here in Porter and Brooks. It's tough to take the ball away from them. Now you run clock. I think now you really get a little conservative in UCLA. I mean, if you're Oregon, go ahead and run it all the way down. I mean, I take the whole shot clock.
We got 15 seconds on the shot clock. Well, very close.
It's Collison here. Quickness upon quickness. Of course, he comes from a quick family.
Yes, he does. Both his mother and father, world-class sprinters. His mom, June, silver medalist in the Pan Am Games and the number 10 400-meter runner amongst women in the world.
At Adelphi University.
Both he and his mom,
New York.
Represented Guyana in the Olympic Games. And a steal.
Still plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Collison, 3. Can't get one.
I think he may have been fouled.
I think he was. They're going to get Brooks, and it'll put Collison at the line for 3 with 46.8 seconds remaining.
And UCLA with another steal. I mean, they steal the ball at a prolific rate, and they can turn you over, and there Collison is fouled. And now you're putting an 80% free throw shooter at the stripe. With a chance, for 3. It's going to be a 2-point game if he can make all of these. No problem.
First, no problem at all. Despite the lunacy going on behind you. Or in front of him, I should say.
How would you like to shoot into that crowd? I mean, there's all kinds of guys waving, and it's not. Look at that. How'd you like to shoot there? Get up to the line, just make 3.
Ooh, missed that one.
I told you the crowd's worth 5.
Yeah.
You know, it's disconcerting to say the least. Now this guy's the MVP in the Maui Classic. You know, he's one of the top guards in the country. It's got to bother you a little bit.
2 out of 3. And a 3-point Oregon lead, 46.8 seconds remaining. And there's a press in the trap, and Lunan gets out of it. Goes to Odia. And now they'll wait. Brooks. And incidentally, that was the 4th foul on Brooks a moment ago. Porter thought about that.
Wow.
Taylor takes it, doesn't get it. Quick shot, not the shot they wanted at all.
Yeah, a little too quick. Well, Bruins can tie with a 3. They can tie, Barry, they can tie with a 3. How do you like it? UCLA.
Tied at 66. Did we say it would come to the last one?
Well, I think you play for the last shot if you're Oregon.
And Brooks going to pull the trigger. Got it off the window.
So much for that.
13 seconds left.
No timeouts.
2-point game.
No, did they have a timeout? No, Oregon took the timeout.
Wow.
I didn't think Ben Howland and the Bruins had a timeout left. Oregon took the timeout after the Brooks score. Well, you would think that you would play for the last shot.
Yeah, well, but you know, Brooks has done everything else today. Why not? And still, the Bruins have a chance to win.
Yeah, they have a chance to win it. Here's Darren Collison, and just Collison and Aflalo have really answered the bell in the second half. And I thought there a little bit of contact, but Brooks just kept right on going, and he drills it. Now the timeout was taken right after that shot by Ernie Kent, who can call the timeout from the bench. So now if you're UCLA, do you play for the win? Do you play for the tie? I think if you're the Bruins right now, you don't have to force a 3. If a 3 presents itself and it's a fellowship or Collison, you take it. If not, you go ahead and look for the opportunity shot. Overtime, I'm sure Ben Howland would take overtime. I mean, he's been behind the whole game.
Now remember, USC came in here. They were behind most of the way. Wound up winning it by 2. And Oregon, I'm sure somewhere tucked away in the back of their mind is that 2-point loss on Thursday night.
Well, we talked about the hype coming into this game. 2 undefeated teams in the country with Clemson and UCLA in this game. Sometimes these games, you know, let's face it, they're not quite up to everybody's expectation. Well, this one is.
No question.
This has been just a marvelous game. Another great game in the Pac-10 Conference, and both teams should be congratulated on this one here. And the Bruins trying to escape.
Plenty of time. Clock is not a factor. 13.9 seconds.
So you know UCLA coming out of this timeout. It's going to be Collison with the ball and Aflalo and Shipp. Those are the guys. Now they've got
Roll is out.
Well,
there
that might give you a clue
shooter.
that if Collison gets a penetration and kicks it out, you know, you wouldn't mind Roll, who has been shooting the ball extremely well in previous games. Not in this one, but he's out there to drill a three if he's open.
He's 0 for 2 from beyond the arc in this game. So here we go. This is where they want the ball in the hands of Collison. Collison comes around the screen. Now it penetrates. Tried to back down. Here's Schiff. 3 seconds. Schiff forced it. It's not going to go. Oregon wins it. It's over. UCLA's undefeated streak is history, and the fans rush the floor.
Man, you think they won the NCAA championship? Just an unbelievable game at backcourt. How do you like it, Oregon? And UCLA, I think they were looking three, Barry, at the end. I think they were thinking three, couldn't get it down.
I don't think there's any question about it. I think you got to give credit to Ernie Kent and his staff drawing up that defense at the end. They really never gave Schiff any kind of a shot. Plus, they did not allow the penetration.
Yeah, this goes down as one of the really great college basketball games, and both teams just played superb basketball. So you can't say enough for the Oregon Ducks. They lost to USC, and they come back to beat a previously undefeated UCLA team. There's a long way to go in the league, long way to go in the season, but congratulations to Oregon. This was just a terrific win for the Ducks.
Yeah, it really was, and of course it makes the Pac-10 conference race now completely topsy-turvy with UCLA having lost today. They do get a split on the road, and that's what everybody tries to do. So that's a wrap for us from here at hectic and crazy McCourt. For Dan Belwamity, I'm Barry Tompkins. Ducks win 68-66.